It's been a very boring apocalypse, to be honest with you. It's been very dull. I thought that I would do quite well in an apocalypse, like I think a lot of men do. But the reason I thought I'd be all right is I thought, well, I like camping, I can read maps, I can do orienteering, you know, I can do first aid, I'm familiar with most firearms, if only from childhood. You never forget. You never forget. And so I thought, the apocalypse, I'm not, you know, massively looking forward to it, but I reckon I could do all right. What I'm saying is, I thought that it would be an outdoors apocalypse. I really would never have thought that you can have an entirely indoor apocalypse. What I wanted in my head was me standing on the roof of an abandoned petrol station, firing a shotgun into the air to scatter a group of wasteland raiders. Mad Max, you know.
Confident as shit.
Happy birthday to you. It was pathetic. Can't get any sympathy for that, can you? I wanted it to be much worse, and I wanted that for all of us. I mean that, and I mean it in a nice way. I thought it could have been our World War II. It could have been our Blitz. It could have been bad enough that it would have given us something to dangle over the heads of our children and grandchildren. For the next 7 generations. It would have left a stain on politics for 100 years, just like World War II has in the Blitz. Because in the UK, if you were even nearly involved in World War II, you are just untouchable. You have like infinite respect and credit, right? And that could have been us. Look at what the World War II generation got, because they could all stand up and say, well, we did our part, time to cough up. All that free housing, the NHS even existing. 40 to 50 years of constant prosperity, free uni, you name it. Blank check for the World War II guys. That could have been us, but it wasn't bad enough. It wasn't bad enough. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't World War II bad, and that's what I wanted. And I'm annoyed because my cousins in South Africa, their lockdown, it was. Now they've fucking got that over me. Every Christmas, they're going to be given it this. Because in South Africa, if you don't know, a lockdown was enforced by the army. There were tanks on traffic intersections. The army went around fucking people up and forcibly shutting down shops that shouldn't have been open. They banned all alcohol and tobacco sales for a total of 6 months over 4 different periods. Yeah. Pierre, didn't prohibition naturally lead to an explosion in organized crime? Yeah. Wasn't there already quite a big organized crime problem? Yeah.
Because the first time she saw me, I was...
Organized crime and the police and the army formed a kind of triangle. Yeah. Yeah. Then they've got that now, so what am I going to say to them? Yeah, well, things might have been bad in South Africa, but have some sympathy for me, I got fat. A little bit of respect wouldn't go amiss. Can't say that to someone from...
Huh?
It's hard having too much food. Doesn't really scan as a problem. 50 years from now, 40 years from now, it's Christmas time, got all the grandkids running around, and they say, oh, Grandpapa, oh, you were in the great lockdown. Oh, what was it like? Please tell us. We're doing a big project at school. Please, you were there. What was it like? And I'll say, no, I don't. No, please. And I'll go, oh, very well. Gather around my enormous chair. Still going strong after all these years. A few patches of rust where I've knocked over dip or something, but still going strong. Gather around the chair. They all gather around and they say, what was it like? And I go, oh, it was hard. I wouldn't wish it on any of you, no. It was tough. You see, normally children in those days, we had things called offices, and we had to spend the entire day trapped in them. And in order to get there to be trapped for the whole day, we had to do a thing called a commute, where we were trapped in a train, bus, or car. Now those...
When you...
But without those vital barriers in place,
What are we doing? And they never use
no reason not to just eat the delicious food constantly all day. Oh, it was difficult. And they say, gosh, that must have been tough, Grandpapa. All that cooking? No, there was no cooking. Not after the first month.
America stumbled out of the gates. You think I'm gonna kick you to the
Children, that's what we would eat. Still though, Grandpapa, it must have been dangerous to walk to a local restaurant to pick up the food and thus risk the virus. No, it was all takeaway, no. No, it was
So what
There's a little man on a bicycle from a country that I can't find on a map would bicycle it to my mouth. Right in here. Still, Grandpapa, it must have been tough to answer the door and look that man in the eye, knowing what you've made him risk. No, contact-free delivery, no. It was actually sort of illegal.
It's fucking on.
Yeah. By the time I opened the door, he'd better be gone, actually. And the delicious food in a neat pile on the mat, like an elf did it. And we had to get drunk in the living room, where it was cheaper. I wouldn't wish it on any of you, no. But that can't have been it, Grandpa. There must have been a point where the government said that we need every man, woman, and child to play their part, to step up and help the great effort against this horrible enemy. They must have put out some sort of call or national service. Oh, yes. The government blew the bugle, and we answered. Oh, yes, we played our role. The government decided that none of us were nearly fat or drunk enough. So they offered to pay for half. The actual government offered to pay for half of all the delicious food during the most glorious 3 summer months of our lives. I saw things I can't remove from my mind. Things I hope you children never see. 4 starters a person. People ordering cream spinach just as a laugh. You wouldn't have lasted a minute. All those months of lockdown, and I never broke. I never broke. I held firm. I never once even tried to make a vegan meal. Never even tried. And I could have. I have lentils, not to boast. Didn't do it once, never broke. Constant stream of meat. Never broke, never broke.